Welcome back to Football Daily. It's lovely to have you, and ArsenalFanTV's Robbie is here to answer some of your questions. I say this every week. This is my favourite bit because the dedicated people go to the comments below and they go, "Oh, he's a," and then we read those out.
I said that about me last week.
Can you beat that out?
I will beat that.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sure there'll be a few for me.
My grandma watches this. Yeah, she loves it. She loves it. She loves hearing me being abused on the internet. That's what she wanted. So should we get down to the first question, which is on my phone?
Go on.
So I'm not being rude.
Okay.
T Canton 94 says, Robbie, if you had 20 million to spend in January, who would you buy?
Not a lot, 20 million, but
No.
On these days.
we need.
Come on,
I think priority number one is we definitely need a centre back. 20 million is not going to buy the sort of defensive midfielder I'd like to buy.
What
But
about Reed? from West
Winston
Ham?
Reed would be a good shout.
Winston.
Fabian Schär from Basel. You know, there are some decent.
Young.
You know, centre backs out there that we could buy for less than 20 million. You know, Van Dijk, who plays for I think Celtic, he's not bad, and I don't think none of those would cost 20 million. So
Winston,
one of
Winston
those.
Reed on the cheap, isn't it? 'Cause his
I don't think though. The only thing is, would West Ham sell Winston Reed?
his
They're
contract-
flying, you
I
know.
think
So
his contract expiring in summer, right? So either they sell him in
Get rid.
January, or
well, I think he's got the Premier League experience. He could come in. I think he could definitely do a good job for us.
Winston
We
Reed.
should have signed someone like that in the summer.
Are you okay for a right back?
Debuchy's coming back. So
If he doesn't, though, do you want Glenn Johnson?
no, we don't
Oh,
want
okay.
Glenn Johnson.
Okay, thanks.
I'm just trying to get rid. It's tricky.
And we don't want Lovren either.
Oh, really? Okay, fair enough. We'll keep him. As well.
Or Mignolet.
Yeah, all right. That's fair enough, mate. Yeah. At Dayson1996, I'm guessing that's the year you're born. Thanks for writing in. Says, why is Arsenal's defence such a joke?
Wow.
It's terrible. It's terrible at the moment. I think, as I said, one of the reasons is the fact that there's been so many injuries in that that back four. It hasn't helped. Debuchy, who came in, was doing so well. And we should have, one of the main reasons is we didn't sign a centre-back. When Koscielny's in there with Mertesacker, with Gibbs and Debuchy, that's a decent back four.
Wall.
But what happens when someone's injured? Got problems. So that's why.
The orphans.
Yeah. Oh, all of them.
Who would you rather have in your team? RVP or Falcao at their peak? Who would you rather have in your team?
RVP. Do you remember that lovely goal he scored against, I think it's Charlton, and he bashes it in from the edge of the box, and he's on the hoarding. That's one of the best goals I've ever seen, and it was beautiful.
This is the fact that RVP, how he left Arsenal, has affected all my judgment on him. I find it so hard.
Biased, are you, mate?
I find it so hard to answer that question, but
Well, he's better than even if it was neutral.
But you know what? Being neutral about it, it's really hard to say because both of them at their peak, both of them are just so brilliant.
RVP. He'll win you the title.
So could Falcao.
Actually,
Yeah, but we don't know Falcao in the Premier League yet.
No, but at their peak, if we're talking about both players at their peak, oh gosh, I don't know. I'd probably slightly go Falcao.
Just give him a chance.
Nothing to do with the Van Persie Arsenal thing. I just think that the power, pace, the finishing of that guy as an out-and-out striker, probably slightly Falcao. Slightly.
I'm tempted to say, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but RVP has got slightly more to his game in terms of he's not just a finisher. His all-around game maybe he's got a little bit more to him.
Sure.
So maybe I'll go for RVP for that reason, even though Falcao's incredible.
RVP scored some amazing goals in this, and the best goals he scored were, in my humble opinion, at Arsenal. Harry Norris says, what is going on with Dortmund? Well, they're not in the relegation zone anymore.
No, they won 1-0 at the weekend, so they're out. But injuries and everything have not helped them. The players they brought in
It's not
weren't
Arsenal.
on cold.
It is like
It's the same
Arsenal.
story. But I think
Apart from they're in the bottom or been bottom of the
Yeah.
league and even worse off than us.
I think they can still get into Europe this year.
I really think that Dortmund will struggle to get into the Champions League this season, and
Really?
yeah, I really do because they've got off to such a bad start. And the interesting thing was, I was speaking to some Dortmund fans a few weeks ago when we played them, and I was asking them what do you think's the reason? And it's funny, it was like talking to Arsenal fans because they were like,
Arsene Wenger. Bloody hell, that man. He's even
because
getting stick at other clubs now.
No,
He's ruined us.
You know what it is, right? Is that the Dortmund fans are saying to me that teams have worked us out.
Yeah.
They know our style. They know, and they were saying that Klopp doesn't change his tactics, and they just go press teams all the time. And it's funny, I was listening to them, I was thinking, I'm sure I've heard this stuff before.
Do you have a little support group? Dortmund Fan TV coming over, being like hugging each other. Slumber44 says, did Lahm get the recognition he deserved?
No,
What?
I think he should have been nominated for the Ballon d'Or. I'm surprised.
When? This year?
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't.
It's like a Lifetime Achievement Award sort of thing.
Not necessarily, but Bayern Munich, they won the double in the league. Obviously, Germany won the World Cup. He was the captain. He's an integral part of both sides.
Didn't score enough goals?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised.
Shouldn't just be about goals.
No.
And he's a great. He's a leader. That guy's a leader. I think he's so underrated. He's a brilliant player.
Left back.
He just gets up and down.
now.
He can play midfield. He can play anywhere. He's quality.
Thomas Lee Lang says, could Pogba return to the Prem in the future? City?
He just signed a new contract, so I think if he is to return, it's going to cost someone an absolute fortune. Can anyone afford that?
City?
City.
Arsenal
I would love to see Arsenal. To me, Paul Pogba is the best box-to-box midfielder in the world right now, and I would love to see Arsenal. I think he'd be made for Arsenal, but he has signed a new contract. He signed a new contract with Juventus, though, and I think you can, if you've got the money, you can get him away from Juventus, definitely, because they're just not going to be able to meet the level of wages that will be paid over here. But then with financial fair play, even City and Chelsea will have to ship out a few players to bring him in. So
you could see City shipping out Yaya Toure next year. I think they could sell him next
yeah,
year.
that's possible.
They could sell a couple of other players as well. That might give them the money to bring in someone like Pogba. Maybe even Man United. United have got endless money.
I don't think he'd go. Would he go back to United?
I wouldn't have thought so.
That would wind him up if he went to City, wouldn't it?
That really would.
DIG Beret said, what about Jurgi Love to replace Wenger after the Euros?
I actually have said that before, but he'd be a good shout.
Yeah?
His style of play, he's been successful. I know he hasn't, done the league stuff, but I think he is that stature of manager. I think he would be a very, very good replacement for Arsene Wenger. Yeah,
I'd be interested to see what he does, like you say, outside of tournament football, how it goes for Jurgi Love, because he's got that German swagger. There's a really nice way about him, I think. And I do think he's the kind of guy who could instill.
Yeah, he does. He looks like he will be successful as a club manager to me whenever he's ready to step into it.
Yeah.
And I think he'd be a great shout as a replacement at Arsenal.
Neville Shah says, enough of who will replace Wenger. Who will Wenger replace? So where will he go after he leaves Arsenal? Is he going to retire, or is he going to go to PSG or manage the French national team, or where do you see him going?
I can't see Arsene Wenger retiring. I reckon that he'll go on. I could see him going to PSG.
PSG?
Yeah, I could definitely, because apparently he's very friendly with the hierarchy at PSG. And I just think that even if he retired, there'll be like so many clubs clambering to bring him out of retirement, come and manage us. He'd get big offers. So I can see him going on whenever he does leave Arsenal.
What if we do the French national team?
That's a possibility.
Yeah, but he likes the day-to-day, doesn't he?
Also so politicised.
It wouldn't be a bad shout for the English national team.
Can't have any foreigners in there, mate. Can't have any foreigners.
Not anymore,
get us playing some decent football.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, mate, we can't be waiting all that time for that. That's not going on. I've got a joke here for you. Chris Ground says, can Spurs win the Europa League? Can Spurs win the Europa League? He's a Canadian.
Could, why not?
Yeah.
But they won't. I don't think they will. I think once you get into latter stages, there's a couple of teams who will drop out of the Champions League into that, that competition. So I think it gets too strong for Spurs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'd say.
At ASAP.
I won't answer that question.
Yeah? Let's just straight up no.
Yeah.
At ASAP Youssef says, who deserves to win the FIFA Manager of the Year? That's a good question.
So it's Jurgi Love, Carlo Ancelotti and Diego Simeone. I'm tempted to say Simeone because I think that's such an incredible achievement to win that league when you've got two powerhouses in there.
And get to the final of the Champions League.
To the final. And
Simeone definitely for me.
Lost it, so
yeah,
they're unlucky to lose that final.
That's all off his own back as well. Whereas, Jurgi Löw has got a big achievement there, but he has really been helped by the financial behemoth that is Bayern Munich and the fact that all those players. But
yeah, it's a great achievement, Jurgi Löw. But I think Simeone, with what he's got, he had good players, but what he got, what he moulded, and to beat Real Madrid and Barcelona to win that league and also get to the final of the Champions League. Now it's got to be, for me, it's a no-brainer. Simeone.
That's fair enough.
I think Carlo Ancelotti, although he did do a very good job at Madrid last season in terms of balancing that side, they were very close to losing that Champions League final. And I think if that had happened, you would have a whole different perspective on that season. It would have been a complete failure. They should have, done better in the league. Things would have looked very different.
The achievement for Jogi Löw in Germany, the fact there was such doubt surrounding him post Euro 2012, the way that he turned that around, and also how well they did in Euro 2012, was, to come almost full circle and sort of go from a real low of losing to Italy and get there. I think that's quite a big achievement. But I'll agree, Diego Simeone. I still think Jogi Löw's a great shout though. Thank you very much for watching the Q&A on Football Daily Weekly. It's been lovely to have Robbie. Of course, head over to his channel, which is ArsenalFanTV. The best bit is when he's covered in Arsenal, basically, and then he gets his drink up, and it's an Arsenal drink, and you're just like, you are Arsenal through and through. I've got one more question for you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
Are you more committed to me?
Who am I? Are you more committed to me? Are you more committed to me? Anyway, that's ArsenalFanTV. Head over there. It's a lovely channel. And of course, leave us your comments in the comment section below or at us at Football Daily UK. Until next time, that's questions.